Feeling nice, cooking up with safari spice. Jerk chicken, yes, yes please. Sizzle, sizzle, pop that heat. Safari spice, oh let it flow. Feel that rhythm, let it go. Dancing while we cook tonight. Safari spot your delight. Oh yeah, let's pop flavors blend. Feel the groove, don't let
I broke my nails, guys. I'm trying to do my nails
the kitchen.
real quick. Look, look, I broke my nail.
Safari
Okay,
spice.
you guys do what you guys do. I ain't got Busta Rhymes money. I ain't like Busta Rhymes out here. Got his nails did. So I have to, think you can make it. Let's go. There we go. I lost my nail. Ah, look at that, guys. Like brand new. Nail tech. What's up, guys? What's up? Before we get started, hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe. Here we go. I got my SD channel up and running. I'm going to put the links in the bottom. If you want to support the channel, the links are going to be, everything's going to be in the bottom, right? Or in the bio, right? So, because this is a cooking channel, shout out to Nothing But Cakes. Look at this red velvet chocolate. I don't bake. I'm not a baker. Every now and then I'll do like a good pumpkin cheesecake all around the holidays. But this is good. I was celebrating a friend's birthday and I decided to get myself one. Anyway, more shenanigans with Diddy. It just never ends. Everybody's talking about what's going on. So I figured I'm going to come on here really quick. It's storming outside, guys. How's the weather where you are? I know a lot of people. I know a lot of females from California. You guys watch me. A lot of shout out to New York, Brooklyn. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to Texas, Florida, California, the UK. My Canadian massive. Happy Jamaica Independence is actually going to be tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back on and do a little, wave your flag or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll come with a Jamaican dish tomorrow. Okay, let's get into this. Everybody is talking about Boo Boo Kitty the Fool, Gina. Guys, she is part of the problem. If you're a woman who's never been DV'd by a man, you don't really understand the reason why women who do get DV'd, why they stay. I understand if you're married. I understand if you have kids. I can understand if you're not working and you can't drive. But women are not, women of 2025, we're educated. Especially women of color. They're more educated than any other population out there, right? We're educated. We're going on to further our education, getting our masters, getting our PhDs. We drive, we vote, we buy property, we buy real estate. A lot of us, are single moms raising our kids. Let's see what Gina had to say. Gina, oh my God. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? Hold on. Let me pull up her picture real quick. Victim number 3. Gina. Everybody's talking about her. I really didn't plan on coming back up here and talking about this, but since we are here, let's just do it. All right, let me share my screen real quick. Y'all don't want to look at me anyway. Okay, I think I'm sharing my screen. There we go. Her, Gina, victim number 3. She was supposed to testify. They couldn't find her. And then after the verdict, she popped up with a new BMW on TMZ. We already know TMZ is on Diddy's payroll. Then all of a sudden, instead of keeping quiet, she sends a letter to the judge. Let's go read it. Y'all probably heard it already, but I'm going to go through it. Let's read this. Your Honor. Dear Your Honor, my name is Virginia Huynh. I am writing as a person identified as victim number 3. Everybody says she was victim number 3 because they say she did an interview on social media, and that was Tasha K. In this case, I've known Sean Corn for many years in both a personal and professional. Hold up. Before I even read this, let me go back to that interview she did. I'm skipping. Let's listen to what she said. Then I'm going to read what she said. Let's listen to this real quick.
And then when we got in the car, he grabbed my hair, we were in the one of those Escalade trucks.
Okay.
So I was sitting on this side, he was on the other side, and he like grabbed my hair and like cussed me out for doing that. He was like, "Why the fuck can I cuss?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Why the fuck you shaking his hand for like just saying
So
stuff
it
like
was
that?" I
just
was
like
like,
a jealous rage.
yeah, I was like, I
What'd you
was
say?
just saying happy birthday, nothing else. I think he thought I was trying to be sneaky behind his back because I like reached over
Mm-hmm.
when he like leaned forward to talk to somebody else. So he thought I was trying to be sneaky.
And you were how old at this time?
I was 22 probably.
Wow. Okay.
And then he did this. So King Los was sitting in the back.
Okay.
And then when we got to the hotel, it got even worse. And he took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me, and then he like mushed my face and like really hard and made my nose bleed.
Wow.
And the only person that every time me and he like we get into like fights like that, the only person that ever helped me was.
Okay. There's more, but we got enough. So she went on social media, did this interview 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So that's before Cassie's lawsuit came out. So she said he pulled my hair, broke my nose. So pulled her hair like Cassie got her hair pulled, broke my nose. My nose was bleeding. Allegedly, Kim Porter hit her in her nose. Other things, she was pregnant, kicked her in her belly, right? All that she testified to. She was supposed to go, she testified with 8 Homeland Security, and she was supposed to go testify as victim number 3. But remember, they couldn't find her. She was a no-show. So now she wrote a letter to the judge. Let's see what she said to the judge. Dear Your Honor, my name is Virginia Huynh. I am writing as a person identified as victim number 3 in this case. I have known Sean Combs for many years in both a personal and a professional capacity. Was she working with him? From that experience, I have seen him primarily as a father, family man, and a businessman, roles that I've always striven to uphold. I provide this letter to share my observations about his character and respectfully request that the court permits his release on bond while the case proceeds. Did his lawyers write this? I want to know if she wrote it or if his lawyers wrote that. I acknowledge and respect that Mr. Combs stands accused and that the court must weigh public safety and the integrity of the legal process. At the same time, I believe it is important for the court to have a full picture of who he is beyond the allegations. Our relationship, like many, was not always perfect. We experienced ups and downs, and mistakes were made. Both he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. Over the years that followed, he made visible efforts to become a better person and to address the harm that he had caused. He addressed that to who? He never went, did he go into, I think his lawyer, Agnafilio, said he went into a domestic violence program 3 months before his sentencing. Before his trial, before he got arrested, I'm sorry. They said his lawyer did say he's in a DV. So over the years that followed me, he made visible efforts to become a better person, to address the harm he had, because by the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was remarkably different from his past behavior. I think he knew he's a sociopath. I think he knew that he was going to go to jail. I think he knew his time was up. I think that's why he changed his name to Love. I think that's why he started giving all his artists their royalty back, to have them sign an NDA that they couldn't talk bad about him or his family. He's a master manipulator. He knew all this was coming. To my knowledge, he had been violent for many years, and he has been committed to being a father first. Remind you now, also Cassie's civil lawsuit, he had it on his desk. His attorney had it on the desk for 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She was asking for $30 million. He had 6 months to sit on it. I heard he took the advice of a criminal attorney, and once it made the CNN, criminally, he said you better settle. But they still had her to testify. I'm writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or the community. So 6 years ago, you said he broke your nose, he slapped you in your face, he pulled your hair, he stomped you when you were pregnant, but he's not a danger to you. This is his first criminal case. I disagree. This is his first criminal case. What is she talking about? Who wrote this? Maybe his first conviction. It's not his first criminal case. He have a case with J Lo and for the shooting out in the club with Shine. So that's wrong. Throughout his investigation proceeding, he has been cooperative, respectful, and compliant. He has substantial ties to his family and the community, including children who depended on him for emotional and financial support. Why do they keep saying children? Why do they keep saying they're all over 18 except for one? They're over 18. They go all get a job. Granting him bond would allow him to continue caring for his family and fulfilling his responsibility while still subject to court supervision. I want to assure the court. Hold on. Let me get my glasses. How's that, guys? I want to assure the court that if released, I believe Mr. Combs will adhere to all conditions imposed and will not jeopardize his freedom or well-being of his family. Allowing him to be at home will also support the healing process for all involved. Respectfully ask that you consider these factors when deciding his eligibility for release and time conserved. Thank you, Virginia. Oh, guys. Should she go to jail? Guys, if you think Gina should go to jail, give me a ones up. If you think Gina should not go to jail, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. I got my nails up. Busta Rhymes' nails look better than mine. Why? I don't know. I know he got the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so my nails. Shout out Busta. Okay, because if my nails are not done and Busta's is done, that's just telling me I need to step up my game. Same like Janice's wig. Her wig be looking crazy. If my wig ever looks, if Janice Combs ever has a wig looking better than mine, that means I gotta step it up. So anyway, like I was saying, should Gina? Was she? You cannot. How? In a federal court, they're looking for you. You don't show, and you go lie. Do you tell me you did one thing, then you flip flop and say something else? Isn't that contempt of court? Should she be arrested? I don't know. I don't know. People's. Oh God. Let's go back to the paperwork. Hold on. I'm gonna go back over here because I really can't. I did not come on here and talk about Gina. I could really care less. She showed. She didn't show. The jury has spoken. They had given us our verdict. And we just have to accept it. It is what it is. It is. So they went and asked for their fifth bail hearing, which I personally think that Judge Arun is tired of the shenanigans. I think he's tired of the jury. He's tired of the jury running their mouth. He's tired of the jury going and doing interviews. I think he's tired of all the male entertainers doing interviews. I think he's tired of Cassie. I think he's tired of Diddy's lawyers. I think the judge cannot wait for this to get off of his desk. I think he's mad. I think he's upset that Maureen Comey was fired, not because of Diddy, but probably because of Epstein. If you sit in a court for months working on a case, and then the head lead prosecutor you see that's working in your court get fired, you don't think the judge is a little nervous? Like, oh my God, is Trump trying to fire me? Am I next? Am I going to give Diddy the hammer? I don't think the Judge Arun is going to throw Jay Clayton. Go back to my last live. I talked all about who Jay Clayton was. He was on the stock exchange, president of the stock exchange, I think. But he's Trump's friend, and Trump appointed Jay Clayton to the U.S. Southern District of New York as lead prosecutor. Now that what's her face is gone. What's her name? Maureen Comey, right? So Trump and Jay Clayton are friends. I don't think that the judge is going to throw him under the bus. Listen, I already did the sentencing guidelines on my last live. If you go back, I already voted 15 years. He's facing 20. I said give him 15 years. Yep, I said it. So let's see. Let's read now what the judge said. Hold on, guys. Pull it up. Share my screen. Here it is, guys. And remember, there's a lot of stuff in the paperwork that's been redacted that we don't know, that we haven't seen, but the judge has seen it. So let me see. This is 2 pages. We're going to read this. The judge wrote this yesterday. He's so sick of it. Okay. The United States versus. No. No, that was from Jay Clayton. I don't want that. Shout out to the Diddy docket. He's been on point, keeping us up to date to everything. Okay, here goes the judge. United States versus. Okay, he's being consistent with his messaging, right? Defendant Sean Combs renews his request for bail pending his sentence. This is the 4th time. On this application, Combs doesn't contest that detention is mandatory for his crimes of conviction. He relies solely on limited. Hold on, let me put the screen up a little bit so you guys can see it. Okay. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. He relies solely on limited expectation to his mandatory detention were 1 count finds by clear and convincing evidence that a person is not likely to flee or pose a danger for safety of any other person or community if released. This is the judge saying, I don't care how much money you're going to put up. This guy is not getting out of here. You could give us $200 million. He's getting sentenced and he's going to do some time and he's going to sit his black butt down to do this time. Exceptionally, reasons why such person's detention would not be appropriate. Exceptional reasons exist where there is a unique combination of circumstances giving rise to situations that are out of ordinary. United States versus okay, they use something said the satisfying framework creates a presumption in favor of detentions in place, plainly substantial burden of proof on the defendant seeking release. Did he say something to do with some threats in jail and they try to beat him up? But I guess the judge is saying, okay, whatever threat or danger that he has, that he's being protected in prison. As for risk of flight or danger, Combs fails to meet his burden by clear and convincing evidence for the reasons set forth on the record at the July 2nd, 2025 hearing. Increasing the amount of the bond or devising additional condition doesn't change the calculus giving the circumstances a heavy burden of proof. At trial, the defense concealed the defendant's violence in his personal relationships. This type of violence, which happens behind closed doors, is impossible to police within conditions. On this basis alone, Combs' application is denied. So okay. So basically, what the judge is saying, Jane Doe testified on court that she was physically abused 3 months prior to his arrest. So on that note, not only did his attorney say, yeah, he's a violent. His attorney said, the lead attorney said in the closing arguments, he's violent. This is DV, but this is not about DV. Yada yada yada. His own attorney said it. So the judge is using not only what his attorney said, but also what she testified that 3 months prior she was physically abused. Even if a flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting the departure from what Congress has required. Combs Mann Act arguments might have traction in a case that did involve evidence of violence, coercion, or subjection in connection with the acts of P at issue, but the record here contains evidence of all 3. Let me go back and reread that. Hold up. I'm trying to understand what I'm reading. Evidence of flight or danger was a war going to call the Mann Act where education involved evidence of violence, coercion, and subjection. Well, okay, coercion, because remember, now you got the male entertainers saying, all on YouTube, which I'm sure the judge watched, that Cassie was DV, but then she was complicit and she was able to stay because they're saying that's coercion. Also, too, the judge is going to think in his mind when he's sentencing Diddy that remember the extortion with the mother when he asked the mother give me $20,000 because she was dating the trainer who was now her husband, Mr. Fine, that she wanted the $20,000. That was extortion. He's going to think of all of that, the previous gun charges in the club, with J-Lo. He's going to think about the coercion of Jane Doe and Cassie. He's going to think about the extortion with the mother. All of that is going to, and hearing watching all the male entertainers, everything they're saying online. While Combs may contend at sentencing that this evidence should be discounted and that what happened was nothing more of a case of willing swingers utilizing voluntary services of escorts for their mutual pleasure, the government takes the opposite view that Cassie Ventura and Jane were beaten, coerced, threatened, lied, and victimized by Combs as part of the petition. See, he's not playing. He don't care. That man does not care. Hold up, guys. Look what I had to get. I had to get my javel. He don't care. Okay? Let's finish. Nope. That makes this case unlike any of the cases Combs points to and place inside and out of the narrow expectation of the attention of Congress or otherwise deemed mandatory. See, what they're saying is usually the pimps never go to jail. It's usually the prostitutes that go to jail. But then in this case, he's supposed to be doing this like for profit. The Mann Act, it was a slave act where the black man would take white women across state lines for profit. But then they're saying with Diddy, there was no profit to be made. He was actually paying people and hiring people. To be cleared, as indicated at the July 2nd hearing, the court offers no view of how the parties' competing arguments about the evidence will cash out for purpose of sentencing, which is happening in the just 60 days at this juncture. However, the record doesn't establish the kind of out of the ordinary exceptional circumstance requiring immediate release. If this judge could have did the sentencing, he would have found him guilty on all 5 counts. RICO, trafficking, 2 counts, and transportation, 2 counts. If this judge, he's very intelligent. He's tired of the shenanigans. He can see through all the BS. He can see through the jury. Combs also points to squalor and danger, the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center conditions, he says, that have been aggravated by the federal government's aggressive budget cuts this year. The public outcry concerning these conditions has come from all corners. But as Combs acknowledged, the MDD staff has been able to keep him safe and attends to his needs. And during an incident of threatened violence from an inmate, the court found that the conditions at the MDC rose to the level of exceptional reason warranting release where it was undisputed that the defendant posed a risk of flight of danger and where unique circumstances counsel release, including the defendant's advanced age and serious medical conditions. Including the defendant's advanced age and serious medical conditions, which require care the MDC may not be able to provide. Those facts are not presented here, and nothing in the Chevez case or that exceptional reason warrant release for every person waiting sentence at the MDC. Rather, the MDC is a fact that may be a serious one to consider along with others making that determination. For reasons as well as those stated on the record at the July 2nd hearing, Combs fails to satisfy his burden of demonstration and entitled to release. The motion for bail has been what? Denied. You are going straight to jail. You are not passing go. You do not collect $200. Just like the game of Monopoly in life, you're going right to jail. You are in jail. You're staying in jail. You're not getting out. So give him 15 years. Let's go, guys. Give me a thumbs up. If you think Gina should go sit down and do those 15 years with him, give me a thumbs up. If you think Gina should not go directly to jail, give me a thumbs down. Let me